this has been a crisis of bankers, produced by bankers. And Labour is a large victim of it. That's all. There's been a big rise in unemployment, a big increase in job insecurity, and I think this is very clear in Ireland, in Greece, in other countries like this. And I think it's immoral that Labour should be made to suffer for the sins of finance. And by suffering, I don't just mean temporary suffering, but policy is now geared to prevent any increase in employment or substantial increase in employment for years ahead. What they're doing, these austerity programs, is they're cutting down on aggregate demand just at the point when you need to increase aggregate demand in order to get a proper broad-based recovery. So I think they're wrongly conceived conceptually. That doesn't mean you can't cut out quite a bit of government waste, and maybe these are the times that you want to do it. But overall, there should be a net stimulus from your fiscal policy, not a net reduction, because the only reason why governments are running such large deficits is because the private sector has increased its savings so much and isn't spending. And therefore, it's a natural way of stopping a slide. Yeah, of course there's room to stimulate more. I think the United States should be stimulating more. I think there's a political blockage, there's an ideological blockage. I think Ben Bernanke's quantitative easing is an attempt to stimulate more, to stimulate through monetary policy when fiscal policy is blocked. I think the big issue, and it's a very important experiment that's being done, will it do the trick? Will monetary policy actually be able to do what fiscal policy is prevented from doing? I have my doubts about it because, as you know, the saying goes, you can't push on a string. The point is not the printing of money, but the spending of money. And if you can print as much money as you like, but unless people are prepared to spend it, invest it, and so on, you won't get the stimulative effect. So there's a big test of this going on, and we'll know the results in another couple of years. At the moment, we can't say. One of the things we have learned from the crisis, I think, is the uselessness of most macroeconomics. It just had no handle on what was going on. People weren't taught about financial markets, they weren't taught about uncertainty, they were told that markets were efficient, that there was self-regulation, that you didn't need regulators or only regulators with light touches, that macroeconomic policy should only have one objective, which was to maintain price stability. Everything else could be left to the market, that globalization had no downsides, that it was all upsides. You were told lots and lots of lies. And I think one of the things we've learned is let's get a more honest economics out of this system, out of this crisis, and one less biased.